same state that I did, which was, yeah, I made it through with one leg that all of a sudden, in one of the keyframes, just like jolted out to the side.
Oh, I didn't even try to animate it yet. I'm still like trying to get the fucking
Yeah,
skeleton to move.
rigging is a nightmare from.
Yeah.
So the problem is that the chest, like, sort of
No, that's
deforms
not
a
the
little
big
bit.
problem. That one is fine. That is the arm that works. This arm, however.
I was gonna say I don't really see a problem. Okay, I see that.
Like, I'm pretty sure I know how to fix it. It's just tedious.
Yeah,
Like, basically have to, like, go into here, select all these, and make sure that they match up.
right.
They're like, this is the one that works, so I need to have that match that, which it
Oh,
does not.
you know how I fixed something at some point was there's a way to like mirror. I like mirrored the limb that was working. Like I just like copied all the. There's like a specific thing to do that, but I don't know. It's so
Yeah,
complex.
I
I
did
don't know.
like a, like a, it did all this like basically automatically for me. And I
Yeah,
don't know if I can go back and
manually
like
fix it.
redo that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
I think I just need to add upper arm right to all of these. Yeah, yeah, let's see how that goes.
So if you actually, yeah, I guess you would have to fix this before you do any animation. But the actual animation stuff is fun as hell.
Yeah, I saw you doing it. It looked really cool.
It's neat.
Upper.
What was I gonna say? Even if this game turns out to not be a game, this was a good. I
Yeah.
learned more about Unity than I ever have before in this, and I'm getting a little bit better at reading the syntax, but it was a good first step into Unity. You did some Blender, so even if our game is just like a fucking, it doesn't even get submitted or whatever, who cares? We learned shit. I have a box that can walk around and push obstacles now to represent the player. Next thing I'm gonna have to do, I think. So I think the way I'm actually gonna have it work, where like you turn into the hole, is just like you actually just fall through the hole. Like it'll just
Yeah,
get
I was
bigger.
thinking about that
It'll just like it'll
before.
follow you around all the time and be tiny, and then when you hit the button that's like I want to turn into the hole now, it'll grow to a certain size and you'll just fall in.
All in.
And then I'll make it so like after like a couple frames you go invisible so you don't see yourself falling through the bottom. And then when you turn back in, I'll just reset the player position to where the hole is.
Yeah. Alright.
And I got the isometric camera in too, so it looks not too bad. Here's a video on disconnected versus connected bones. Oh no, actually, it looks like it's not actually connected to the torso, right? It's connected to that. It should be connected rather to that. What is the shoulder? Yeah, you have like a shoulder, a bicep, an elbow,
Yeah.
and
Maybe it needs to be. If I can make this not spread. having YouTube problems for some reason.
Oh man, I could see a version of this game once I, if I had a better grasp on mesh colliders when I started, where like you're just the hole, and you know you hit like one button to like suck, and then like the ground like deforms inward, becomes concave, and one where you and then another button for like blowing. So like for example, when this like large block fell down and now I'm like too big to I'm too small to like eat it, I could like blow it up in the air.
Way, yeah.
And inside of this folder, we are going to create a new C# script and call it, let's say, trigger test.
Rigid body constraint? Is that
Then I
what I
select
want?
my object again and drag the script into the inspector to add it as a component.
Cannot.
Sounded plausible.
Okay,
It
that's
did,
it.
it
Our
sounded
script is
right.
attached, and now I
Some-
double click it to
That's the other thing about all of this, a lot of this stuff, like like the vocabulary around it is so
It's very
dumb
weird.
sometimes. Like in Unity, I was trying to figure out that 2D to 3D plane thing, and there's this thing that is the path of the mesh collider, which like when I looked it up, what the path actually is on a 2D collider is like the outside vertices, like the points that get connected to draw the shape.
Well, I mean,
That sort of makes sense, but it was very misleading when I first was seeing that.
Open Visual Studio.
Like,
So here's my
if it wasn't a moving thing, if I hadn't copied it from a tutorial and it wasn't something that was moving, I probably would have saw that as more plausible. But when I saw that getting referenced in code on a moving thing, I'm like, okay, that has to do with its position, right?
Yeah.
my C# class. It's also called trigger test, like the file. And what I have to add now is a method to react on trigger enter. This C# method is called onTrigger is a method. Okay, that's it. Our script is attached, and now I double click it. Okay, that's it. Our script is attached, and now I double click it to open Visual Studio. So here's my C# class. It's also called trigger test, like the file. And what I have to add now is a method to react on trigger enter. This C# that you can just copy and paste into your class. So how can this be done? First I have to get the renderer component that is attached to the game object, and this renderer has a property for the material, and the material has a property called color, to which I can assign the new color that I want to set. Okay, now I can start the game and walk onto this platform, and it will change to green.
Okay, so here's what I need to do. I think I need to make a trigger on every ground object that will go into the whole parent object and reassign the ground collider to be its own collider. And since we already have the generated mesh locked to the player's Z position, although I'm not sure that that's going to line up directly perfectly with where the ground is, unless the player's origin point is like at their center. Like, what is the middle of the cube its origin point? Anyway, I'll figure that out later. I also did a little test earlier where I turned the ground into, also, don't worry, Jeff, if you're around, I'm just talking out loud so that I have a record of this from my stream of what I did. I tried turning the ground into a cube, and it still worked. The hole still worked perfectly fine, so it doesn't actually matter that the actual ground object and its mesh are flat. I might have it. Let's take a little break. And hope that works when we come back. So we have hope while we're doing other things.
Hello, my name is Anne. I'm an indie developer. I've been in the industry for 12 years now. These are some of my projects. I started out in online games working on Marvel Heroes. I worked in the Bioshock Infinite franchise. I founded an indie studio with several other people. I did that about 5 years ago. And a year and a half ago, I did the craziest thing I've ever done. I quit all of that and I went solo. I founded my own indie studio to make one specific game.
But from what we encountered is it basically gets rid of the gains we got out of PGO, so we end up turning off combat building. So doing that, we finally got our game running at frame rate. So we could, I mean, it's good to ship frame rate wise.
Let's see if this works. Let's duplicate this ground. Okay. Now let's grab the whole parent. Oh wait, is it, or is it the play? It's the whole, right? Although it did seem to update the mesh collider. So now these don't work. Wait. So it kind of worked? Let's grab the original ground. Move it this way and let these guys fall. Why is that one staying there now? God. This makes no sense. Or it makes sense probably, but I don't understand what's happening. It doesn't work down here either. Okay. Okay, yes it does. But the collider's not working, but fucking whatever, who cares? Let's make the ground an asset. Okay, and then we'll play. And we'll pull it in as a prefab. Alright, and then now, the original ground should not sorry, the original hole should not, okay, have its mesh collider updated, which is good. So that works as expected. Let's go to the ground and turn off the second mesh collider and the ground trigger script. whatever. Just that should work, right? And then let's run this. Duplicate the ground. And go back to whole parent. And yeah, it doesn't update then. So it's working somehow, kind of. Okay, and that now it's doing it again. Now it recognizes the second ground. As the ground. It should be using. Womp. So now let's bring the whole parent down here. See if it works. It does work. And the collider works now. Sort of. Maybe it's not quite on the right. What the fuck is going on here? Wait, why is that happening? Why did that just happen? So the thing that should make this turn gray is this script. Alright, now each time the player object, this little box over here, touches a new piece of ground, it should reassign on the whole parent what the mesh collider is for the ground. So let's make the mesh collider nothing. We have no mesh collider, and then let's start. Yes, that works. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, let's duplicate this ground. Real quick, see what. Okay, so it takes the. It's taking the second grounds. If we take the player, drop him down here. Now it should be ground one, but it's ground, so it's whatever one he last touched. Like, what are these three numbers? I think Unity has bad documentation. Or like, I appreciate the way Game Maker's documentation talks to you as if it's your first time doing this. What is vector 4? Time is... What is the W component? Time? Cube 2. Freeze rotation. Unless... Why is it not freezing? Jeff, are you in here?
I am here.
Right on. I saw something pop up in the Discord. Is that the model?
Yes, I think.
Let's see. Let's see here.
It's like the Blender file. I don't know if I have to like save it as
sounds,
something else.
It sounds like you just need the file, but it won't. I guess what I'll have to do is actually, because I figured out that I don't actually want the boxes rotating. You know, I want them to be pushed on a solid on a single path, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, you know, for all that work I did just to get the collider to work so specifically, the best way to do it maybe doesn't even rely on that either. Like it colliding with the super perfect edges of the collider that I took so long to fix.
Sucks.
But yeah, let's see if we can actually let's make it a little bit more massive. Let's see if that helps with the But I can see in a second here about importing that.
Only got the run animation in there.
That's fine. I
guess.
Like I said, I'm not gonna I'm not going to
Submit it.
So I'm gonna submit it. I'm gonna make like a project file, and so you know I'll submit whatever we have tomorrow, which would just be like this basically.
Yeah.
But then I'll probably make it invisible on itch. On itch until I have something showable. And then I'll just say, you know, I'll write a little disclaimer saying, hey, you know, here's the one you should judge, but also just FYI, we didn't actually get this in on time. Fuck you, I got shit to do, sorry. Anyway, okay. Let's see about importing a character model Unity. What about the donut you made?
And text. So what we want to do is I click on that, and you'll notice that my modifiers on the right all disappear.
Don't know what
They've
happened to
all
that.
applied to all of
I
them.
may have not saved it.
Now with
Oh, no.
12 FPS. Now there's other. My tree has shown up over here, and I can edit the color of my tree.
There may be some things I have to have you go do before we re-import it, but we'll import it and see what happens. I guess sometimes I remember this a little bit. It can take your it'll take your camera with it into Unity, which can cause issues. But also, and then the scaling thing. But we'll see. Importing the character into Unity.
If I now drag and drop the imported FBX directly in the scene, I will see my 3D
Sounds like you
model
recorded
in
it
its
at
rest
like
frame.
half speed.
I will create a new project and select 3D.
It's weird ever since I started
missing.
missing. Oh wait.
In Unity, with my sample scene open, I
Okay,
will
no,
simply
playback speed
create
is normal.
a
I was
new
gonna say,
folder
does it like inherit my settings when I
in
paste
the
it into
project
the?
hierarchy under assets, and
It's
I
just
will
a
then
really
create
deep
another
voiced
folder
Yeah,
called
yeah.
reading guy.
texture, where at 2019, because the FBX import has been greatly improved. This
I don't
tutorial
think I
is
can
sponsored
save it as
by
anything,
myself.
but
If you want to learn
dot
all my
blend.
rigging technique, or if you want to create stylized character from scratch, then you can enable, disable, or toggle it. Before exporting to FBX, some word of our sponsor. This tutorial
There,
is
it's like
sponsored.
export, so just say
Exporting is pretty
Exporting
straightforward.
to
The
Or-
first thing I
FBX.
do is that I just select the object I want
FBX?
to export. My
Yeah.
character,
Okay.
its
I'm
gear,
doing that
and
right
armature. Then I will simply go to File, Export, and choose FBX. From there, the first option I will choose is Selected Object. This object is in the Include menu where you can
There's some settings you'll want to have on. So limit in the include section on the right, check the selected
specify
objects box.
what kind of object you want to export. But using the selected object
Actually,
menu
you can just
will
watch
override any
the
of the object types. So you
fourth
are sure
section of that
you are
video I
currently
pasted in there
exporting only the armature
has
and
the
mesh.
exporting
If
to
you don't do-
FBX like part of it.
include. Should I not include the camera?
Not include the camera, I would assume, but let's see what he
Solve will
says.
export, and I truly recommend it, and it will export the animation
Armature.
model by
Because
it.
you think
And
just
your model
armature and
in
mesh?
Unity will look like Unity. We need to activate action as
Let's see what he
positive
says.
Z.
Yes,
It
armature.
can be tricky to figure out. Exporting to Unity, it is in the include menu where you can
Oh, yeah, just,
specify
he does
what
just
kind of
armature
object you want
and
to
mesh.
export.
Alright.
But using only the
And then
tree setup as it is, if you have a solidify
don't look at that
modifier, for example, it will
scale is
apply
1,
it.
Z
And
forward,
your
up is
model
Y
in
up.
Unity will look like your model in
Apply
Blender.
unit and
In
apply
the
transformer
armature
checked.
option, we will get rid of the leaf bone. Leaf bone are
Under the armature
automatically
options, get
created
rid of
at
add
the very
leaf
end
bone,
of
he's
the
saying.
deform bone, so that we will only export
Options. I
the
didn't
bone.
see
And then
that. Oh, armature.
armature. So under there,
Unclick.
uncheck
leaf
add
bone?
leaf bone and click only deform bones.
That we
Okay.
have tagged as deformers, and so it will make our FBX lighter and its hierarchy way cleaner. In the bake animation menu, I will keep everything as it is. Since we have cleaned the NLA editor, we can keep export
Setting.
the animation.
Don't pay any attention to the first two.
Alright, FBX file. Alright, importing character
The import
DNA.
has been greatly character, and I will drag and drop the FBX directly into the character folder. If I now
Alright, so assets, make a character folder. And then I guess I could just drag it right in there. Well, he seems to be able to drag his directly in. What happens when I try to drag mine directly in? Am I dragging it into the wrong scene? Yes, I am. Okay. Alright.
Oh, it's gigantic.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case because
Yeah. Can you scale?
I can scale
What do
it.
you mean?
Yeah, I could scale it. So if I just do 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. She's still quite big. Wonder what. She'll look like at that size. Yeah, she's pretty pixely. Well, let's see.
Oh, I can do it on my end.
It's still, it is.
Watch out.
Why is it looking? It looks more pixely in
Okay,
general
send.
right now. Like, what? It wasn't looking this pixely before. Like at this camera angle. Let's undo all that. What happened over here? Right, like it wasn't always this pixely.
Oh, the whole game, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I am looking at her stream, but
Like it looked like, you know, like this. Not all. Oh wait, did this? Okay. There we go.
oh, you just zoomed in.
It just when I pulled her in for some reason it
Yeah.
Alright, hold on. Let me pull her in again. And then we'll set her 0.1 or 0.1 and 0.1 and see how she looks. Will she animate when I start? She does not animate. I probably have to set that up. She could probably stand to be a little bigger than that. Let's go to do 0.25. 5. Honestly, it's probably easier for me to scale my stuff than for you to scale yours, right?
I mean, I've already got it scaled probably close to what you need. I
Okay.
think it'll all still work. Let me just play it and see if it goes. Right way and everything. Yeah, still looks fine.
Nice, okay.
One more time. I also painted it, and I don't know why it all... It was before I, like, sent it to you and everything.
There's a what in it, did you say?
I had painted it, and it all went away for some reason, but that was before I sent it and everything. I'll figure it out. I'll repaint it.
Let's also take the, let's take all these cubes, change their... Actually, fucking physics debug. I wish I... You know what? Fuck it. We're closing you for now. Because I can't find a good place to dock you. I mean, it's fine if you don't paint her. Honestly, just her being perfectly black like this will probably make it really natural looking when she suddenly turns into a hole.
True.
The main thing is, like, yeah, if you could do an animation for pushing boxes, and then one for, I could use it both for falling, maybe even jumping, and then, like, melting into the hole, like, with her hands sort of in the air. Actually, it doesn't actually even need to be animated. It could just be one frame, even.
Yeah.
Just hands in the air, legs slightly bent.
For the box push, do you want it like a, like she's standing and like pushing the box and so it slides away from her, or is it a like you're behind the box pushing it with it?
I don't know what you mean by the second one, honestly. You mean like pulling
Like,
the box?
Are you pushing it so the box slides away from you, or are you pushing the box? Or are you like behind the box pushing it along?
Behind the box, pushing it. I would imagine pushing it away from you, like standing, like you would be standing with your hands against the wall, but with your legs moving behind you.
Okay, so you're like with the box the whole time. You're not like pushing it. You're not sliding.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, you're with the box.
Okay,
it will not slide away from you.
Okay.
It will be you will be, yes, with it the whole time.
All right.
And the beauty of yeah, you know, the Blender and Unity thing is you define like I define a little tree once you get me all the animations, and about like how to transition between those animations, and it like blends the keyframes between the two, so like automatically. So like if we did decide we wanted to do like a push animation instead, where it does slide away from you, you could just make a new animation where she's in the last keyframe of that, and then I could blend between the old and the new, and it would basically look like just fine.
That's nice. That's nice.
Here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to mess with the
Also, yeah, that keyframe thing is so nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I had to make 4.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's like night. It works how you would think it works, and it's fun.
Mm.
All right, so all the QB guys have those locked, and then we'll see about how to rig this thing up, or how to get it to play. Let's go back to.
If I now drag and drop the imported FBX directly in the scene, I will see my 3D model in its rest pose being imported, and it's currently correctly aligned with the Unity world space. The first important thing you have to understand is that an FBX is a library, and when I unfold it, you can see that...
Oh, actually, there might be an extra thing I have to have you do, because this is an isometric game. I forgot. So your character's forward-oriented direction is this way, right? Where the
Toward the hole.
yeah, toward the hole, where it should be actually 90 degrees to the right of that. Because
okay.
up
I can
will
turn
be-
it 90 degrees.
don't do anything yet. I'll let me rig it up and make sure it's a problem before you fix it.
Okay.
Or whatever I have to do. Not actually rig it, but animation. Okay, there it is. Nice.
Oh.
I'll make it bigger. I like the little head wiggle that you got going on.
And also, one of its hands is fucked up, and I can't figure out how to fix it, but it doesn't look that bad.
It's fine. It's like it doesn't have to be perfect as long as it reads. My model had some weird, the leg was jutting out to the side in one of the frames issues that I never fixed.
I will make those other animations tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine. Right on. I will try and import this. I will let you know if I succeed tomorrow. I have to go to bed shortly too, though, so I may not succeed tonight. Where did my goddamn window, my assets window and everything go?
I downloaded that. I mean, it's not out of the ordinary.
No.
Okay. So now if I play the scene, she should just walk, right? Oh, she's not looping. She just walks through it once. She just plays one step through the loop. Alright, so how do I get it to loop forever? Foot IK, yes. Transitions. But what? How do I get it to, maybe he'll get to this. Let's see. You have to loop. You have to loop the animation. Okay, I get that, but how do I... Can I do that without, writing the animation controller right now? Like, I just want to see it running, and then I'm probably going to call it for the night. Wow, I'm getting a ringing in my ears. Ugh, okay. So, is there a way to set it just with an option, Goofy King? The loop? the place that you apply. The place that I apply. Oh, the place that I hit apply. Okay. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. So that would be back. Not in here. Yes, okay. She's got a little thing going on with her leg, but that's fine. This is our first time in Unity. Also, I have to give her a slightly new material. I don't want the shininess on the black. I just want her to be straight black, like a black hole. Alright. It's good enough for now. Now I just have to replace this little tiny box with her. Jeff will get me some pushing animations. I have to make an itch.io page for this. And the Ludum Dare page. Just do that before I go to bed. Thank you for your help, Goofy King. That was very helpful. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even to the point where I'm not doing the animations. It's Jeff, but I can recommend you can recommend to Jeff when he's here that he watch that. But I don't. I just need to do the Unity part. Yeah. But these are first steps. You know, I'm just getting used to the layout and the UI of everything. All right. Let us make an itch.io page for a game that doesn't exist yet. Alright, I have officially submitted a nothing game that I can edit later. Watch YouTube. When you end the stream, you react to Coffin Dance every time by kidding, that sounds awful. Alright, you have a good night, Goofy King. I'll catch you later, buddy. Alright, you have a good one.